Hey, how are you? Happy Wednesday. Like my new hat? Yeah, that's for my friend Gary Clevenger at Fresca Mangoes. Any of you that go to Costco, you've probably seen his mangoes a lot. Uh, I'm a hard guy to impress when it comes to produce, and I buy his mangoes. And so, Gary, thanks for the hat. Sent it to my whole family, and I appreciate it. We'll talk about Gary and mangoes a little later. Okay, I have to start off. I'm sorry, I got to keep on talking about this box program, but I think I have a little good news. Congressman Castro of San Antonio is going to he opened up a hearing on this how this created date got that contract. Now, I usually don't side with Democrats lately because a lot of things that they do and say make my head explode. I used to be a Democrat when I was younger, but I've been a Republican for many, many years, independent. But anyway, the point is, I'm sure Castro's reasons are political because this USDA program is definitely going to make the administration look bad. And if if you're a Democrat and you want the administration to look bad, I got to be honest, it's the perfect example because there is no way this could have been a legitimate contract. I've said it, time and time again, and I applaud Congressman Castro because if that's what we need, if we need a congressional hearing to shake this out and find out what happened and what went wrong, I'm all for it. I care more about the produce business than I do about politics right now. So that's just my point. This guy had no business getting this contract, and I think it's all going to shake out. And I don't know how the USDA did it. I don't know what their criteria was. I don't know what money was thrown at it. I don't know who this guy knew. I all know, common sense tells Paulie there's something wrong with this, and I'm sure you all agree. I put up a link to an article that states that fact, and also Tom Karst has another link for vote for the produce person of the year. That is not. I'm not putting that up to be self-serving. I just think you should be involved. And if somebody makes a difference in your life in the produce business, and you think it's good for the industry, I would vote for any retail that brings value to consumers. Listen, I told you every retailer is going to have a great quarter. Why? Extremely low prices, great demand, and retailers, if anything, raise prices, not drop prices. Now, I'm a capitalist, and I am a capitalist, and I love profits. But this is, to kick somebody when they're down is not my style. And for them to raise prices, I think is a little obscene, especially you're talking about like how you want to help farmers and help these farmers, and then you rape the farmers on one end, you want to pay less and less, and you charge consumers on the other end. I applaud retailers that sell stuff with supply and demand, and all the retailers, and usually your large retailers that do this for your profits, you can go to hell. That's the way I feel. Yeah, I'm a little pissed off. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's get some retailers out there that sell that value stuff and not value added. Value added is an oxymoron. Remember that. It just adds cost to produce. Okay, markets, because I don't want to piss off anybody else this week. Red pepper market, you're pretty much done in Mexico. If you're not, you probably have a hard time making delivery. Their time is gone. Bad weather. We've had years that red peppers out of Mexico went into June, but it was usually with great growing conditions. This was not one of those years. If anything, we had terrible growing conditions. So it's time to switch to California. Some heat coming in California this week, so it's going to pick up the volume a little bit, and we're going to have reds. If you need reds, give me a call. I have them. I think the market will top out at 18.95 and probably be less than that, but we'll see. Green peppers is kind of like, for the East Coast, it's an East Coast deal now. You got peppers in the South, and I pretty much that's the way to go. West Coast peppers are going to be West Coast business. Squash, the local stuff hasn't started yet. We have it in the South, and it's winding down in out west. You do have some new areas in Mexico over the last couple of years that as long as the freight isn't prohibitive, they could be a factor. But usually this time of year, freight gets prohibitive from now until after 4th of July. So that again is you're going to see less and less Mexican squash and more local stuff and southern stuff. Eggplants still a pretty good deal. I'm nearly not posted on the southern eggs. I'm sorry to say. I tell you, I tell you the truth. When I'm not posted, I'm not. But that market still seems strong, and still staying in that $18 to $20 FOB range. Cukes, finally, I think are going to get it off the bottom. Definitely supers are a little bit more money, and I see that can continue. Roma tomatoes are very, very short. It's always when that fall off, when we go from that Sonora stuff and then into the summer. Usually, in the last suspension agreement, the prices changed right around in July, right? And it went less, and usually the market went up. And although we don't have that same suspension, the prices are fixed all year round. It still seems like that. Like Roma tomatoes are gonna work better for the summer. Mangoes. Let me tell you a little bit more about Gary Clay. What a great guy he is. Because I haven't sold mangoes. My office sells mangoes, but I personally haven't sold mangoes in many, many years. And I asked Gary for help today because in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have a 40 or 50 loads starting, for the next 2 months. I'm going to have like 40 or 50 loads of mangoes, or Tufos and Tommy Atkins and Kent. And I asked Gary for some help, and sure enough, Gary just gave me all the information, because that's the kind of gentleman he is. So, and I'm sure my 40 or 50 loads is not going to, Gary probably sells that in a week. So thanks, Gary. But I'm going to have mangoes, and I would appreciate your business. It's going to be Saffron Bay is our new label. I promise we'll have our Tufos. We'll have 10s and larger on colored mangoes, Kent and Tommy Atkins, and 16s and largers on our Tufos, and I'll make sure they arrive to you perfect. And that's all I have this week. I want to keep it low key. I think I probably ruffled a few feathers already. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty passionate about the produce business. I'm pretty passionate about farmers. I'm pretty passionate about consumers. I'm pretty passionate about retailers too. I want everybody to make money. I just want I want it to be good for everybody, not just good for one and bad for two. I like it to be good for everyone. And as long as you've been listening to me, you know how I feel about selling produce. Sell it the way God grows it, and sell it with the ebbs and flows of supply and demand, and you're going to be much better off. Consumers get a bargain. Retailers get more volume, and all you box guys out there, I know a lot of them. If you give value to consumers, I think you have a winning situation there. And that's all. Oh, happy birthday, Frank Muller. He's S. Casper. I know Frank, I don't know, about 30 years. So happy birthday, Frank. And you all take care. See you on Sunday. I'm sure I'll have something else to talk about. Vote for your Produce Professional of the Year and Packer. And I'll see you on Sunday. Have a great day. Love you. Love the produce business. Let's keep on pushing. Have a great day. Bye.